volume, and there's a lot of flow coming into the options. How do we monitor the flow of a stock? How do I know, hey man, this stock has a lot of volume and there's a lot of flow coming into the options? Because that's the big word, the big thing now. It's like, hey, I want to monitor the options flow. I want to monitor and see what's actually going on. Are the big boys buying or selling? What's going on? Are they buying at the ask? Are they buying at the bid? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How do I do that on the Thinkorswim platform? I don't feel like paying for these subscriptions around. All right, well, here you go, guys. Again, it's not going to be as pretty as some of the softwares available. And again, like I said in the last video, if you want to check out a software, Black Box, the greatest value from what I've seen. So check a link on the description below. But if you don't feel like buying a software, this is how you can do it directly on the system. So as you can see here, BuyAC has been on the list all day. It's on my scans list for the stocks that have a lot of volume. As you can see here, it's 159% above average. It broke low. And it's like, okay, well, now how do I know which option to trade? How do I know which one to do? So it's like, here's an example. The 80 puts, as I shown on the last video, have been breaking out all day, right? So all morning from 78-cent low, and now they're at 525. And it's like, okay, well, how do I know, if this is a good trade? How do I know if I should be putting my money into this? All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look. So as you can see here, let's go ahead and let's refresh this scan here. And let me bring up. All right, so how do I know? It's like, hey, let's take a look at what is actually going on with VIAC. So as you can see here, this is the options time and sales. And it's like, yes, Ron, I've seen this before, cool. But, it's basically the same thing as some of the softwares are giving you, right? So it's like, what are they really showing you? Hey, that a big order came in at X time and for how many contracts. And then they, label it block, sweep, and whatever, right? So one thing you can do is just basically filter, click this little funnel here, and filter by a quantity amount. You can filter by price, you can filter by exchange, you can filter by strike series. So let's say you don't want to see, anything past, 30 days out, you can filter for all of that as well, right? And then what you're looking for is, hey, how much money has been put in? And then what you're looking for is, if you're getting a lot of these, what you're looking for is like, hey, consecutive orders. So look at these, 521, 545, 509, 493, 550, 550, right? Same strike, same expiration. That's letting you know, hey, man, somebody's putting in a lot of money into this. Boom, back to back, back to back, back to back, right? So it's like, all right, but you're getting both sides here. So it's like, which side is the right side to go? So you have to look at the dates, you have to look at everything. So as you can see here, for this week's expiration, the largest order has been 5,000 contracts at the 95 put. Whoa, it's a lot of money. How much did they pay? They paid $15.40 when the market was at $15.15 and $15.90. So they paid basically the mid price. Cool. The largest call order is for April 21st, so they're giving themselves a month. And it was at 599 contracts at 435. So basically they paid the bid, right? And as you can see here, this is how you monitor this stuff. So it's like, if you see a stock getting a lot of alerts on your watch list, or you see unusual activity coming in, boom, you instantly go over to options, time and sales. You can have this pulled up on a second monitor, third monitor, depends on how many monitors you have, or just, swipe up with your fingers and then switch from your virtual desktop so that you can kind of keep an eye and see what's actually going on behind the scenes. And then let's say you're not 100% sure what kind of position this is. Did they buy? Did they sell? I'm not 100% sure. One thing I look for is these matching numbers, right, that came in at the same time. So let's say you would have had, let me see if I can find an example, because this is not it. Let's see. Like, how do you know if it was a spread, a butterfly, or something like that? What you're usually going to see is that they're going to have the same timestamp, and you're going to see the same amount of contracts at a 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, depending on the stock interval. And they're going to be separated by, here you go, here's an example. 906, right here, 3,500 contracts, 60, 80 puts, right? So this could easily be a credit spread. This could easily be a debit spread. And depending on where the stock is, this is how you will determine. So I would say this is probably a credit spread. This is for May. So you can see here, 60, 80 puts. The stock is at 75 now. This was done at 906, right? So you can see that like, hey, this makes more sense if it was actually a credit spread, say 3,500. But now you look at look at it here. So you have 906.22 and you have 85, 80, and 60. Okay, so it wasn't just a credit spread, you know. So this is more complex 3-leg position here. And what you can do is highlight all of these and put it on the analyze tab, so that you can see what kind of position this was, and is it bearish or is this bullish? And that's how you'll determine what's actually going on. And again, guys, it's not pretty. It won't be fast, but you shouldn't be rushing into positions anyways. If you take the time to kind of study, hey, how the money is flowing into the stock, is it bullish, is it bearish? You'll be able to make better decisions, and in the long term, hopefully make better trades for you, your portfolio, and your financial growth, right? So this is the type of things I like to do. So to keep an eye on what's going on, right? So, and you'll see the orders coming in. So let me see if I can find one that's coming in right now. And one thing I do to refresh my list to make sure I have the fresh ones, I just switch watch list so that it goes and comes back, right? Boom, and then it'll give me the list. So again, and the only thing I hate about this watch list stuff is that it doesn't give me a timestamp on when the alert came in, right? So that's the only thing I'm trying to figure out. I mean, time in sales has a timestamp. I don't see why we can't add it to the watch list, but that is the only thing, right? So the 77 puts, boom, and then you can sort this right here. It's like, hey, you know what? I only want to see the 77s. So strike price, let's do 77. Boom, there you go. So now you can see 77 calls, 77 calls, 77 calls, 77 calls, 77 puts, 1,300 puts right here, right? Because this is telling us puts. It's not telling us calls, right? So puts are the ones that are having, this is giving me a list of items that are coming up for having, hey, open interest higher. And actually, let's go ahead and verify that. So if we go ahead and go over to, all right, so these are the 326.77 puts. So 326.77 puts have 11. All right, and let me detach this and show you why. Is the list even giving me correct information? Let's go ahead and take a look. So here we go. So unusual activity at the 77 puts for 326 expiration. Yes, I would agree with that. We have 1,100 volume when the open interest is 88. So there's definitely a significant change there, right? So there you go. So is the list giving me accurate alerts? But I would say yes. It's giving me a good amount of significant alerts on the strikes that are having a significant change. In comparison to the calls, you can see here, they're not doing too much at the same strikes or in the money. So this is how I like to scan and then go ahead and monitor the flow into the options on Thinkorswim platform, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave comments below, and I will see you guys on the next one.